ESPN Radio and New Hampshire's best sports. This is WGAM, The Game.
Welcome back, everyone. This is the New England Golf Radio Show. I am JJ Truman. We got Chris Arcan behind the board, and he is just killing it this morning with the music. He's killing it. He's got the Rolling Stones on there for us. We're fired up over here. Just had a great interview with Chad Zingales from Amherst Country Club. And one thing I wanted to mention is if you check us out on Twitter, WGAM The Game, if you're a Twitter user, check us out. You'll get a chance to see a picture of one of the holes at the Amherst Country Club. I believe it's number 2, a really challenging par 5. You can also check that out on our Facebook page, and that's WGAM on the Facebook. I know everybody loves Facebook. I'm not a big Facebook guy, but I'm going to try to get into it. We're going to start putting some stuff up there weekly on future courses that we do. This week, obviously, it's Amherst, so get on there. You get a look at the second hole, that challenging par 5. That green is treacherous. Trust me, I made a par, and I ran to the next tee. I was so excited to make a par on that hole. So as I said, get on there, Twitter, WGAM, The Game. Check out our tweets. You'll be able to look at some other things from the station, as well as our Facebook page. I know Chris loves Facebook.
Yeah, I do.
So
I'm hooked.
He's on there checking it out every day, trying to see what we're doing as far as updates. Okay.
Speaking of which, if you're just joining us before we leave this, Chad did say that if you call now between right now and 1 o'clock p.m., if you call Amherst Country Club, the number is 603-673-9908, and mention WGAM and the New England Golf program that you're listening to right now, you can play 2 for 1.
And it doesn't get any better than that. 2 for 1?
I mean, come
2
on.
for 1?
Yeah.
And you might even, if you go in there and ask for Chad, you might even be able to get him to play with you.
Yeah.
I don't know if that'll happen. I don't know how busy he is. I don't know what else he's got going on today. But just get in there and say, Chad,
I'll give you $50.
18 holes straight up. Maybe you make a little friendly wager on lunch or something like with him, and then you go from there. But get over there because that is a great deal, especially early season. You're looking to save money, get out, get the rust off, play with some good people, and have some good company. So I want to get back into the Masters talk. We got a little bit into McIlroy. We had to shut it down there for our break. But I really want to talk about this because I think it's an important piece that we need to talk about as far as the golf world is concerned. We're talking about competition and watching guys fold under pressure, and clearly McIlroy did that on Sunday. He folded when he was under pressure. But there was something that happened after the tournament was over. McIlroy and Charles Schwartzel share the same agent, and the guy's name is Chubby Chandler, which is just an unbelievable name. Chubby
One
Chandler,
of the best names I've ever heard.
Right? Chubby Chandler.
Chubby Chandler.
Amazing. Lee Westwood's agent, Charles Schwartzel's agent, as well as Rory McIlroy's agent. Those guys hop on a plane to go over to the Maybank Malaysian Open, which they're all playing in this week, which is actually over now, given the time change. And Rory, being the guy that he is, being the stand-up, mature 21-year-old, takes a picture of him and Charles Schwartzel.
Who's only 26, by the way. It's not like he's 26. Much older here,
yeah. With Charles Schwartzel has the green jacket on, posted on his Twitter, quote-unquote, says, at least one of us has the green jacket. This caused public outrage. It caused media outrage because they're saying this is competition. You don't see Tom Brady go take a picture with Peyton Manning after they lose the AFC Championship game with Peyton Manning wearing his AFC Championship hat and his arm around him. So is this a bad thing for golf that this picture is out there and that this kid who's 21, mature, clearly beyond his years, took this picture and showed good sportsmanship? Or is it okay? Should we be okay with the fact that he's on a plane with this guy? They're buddies. They're both rich. They're flying over to go play in another golf tournament, and he's happy that his buddy won the tournament.
Is that okay? Of course that's okay. How can people have a problem with this? That's outrageous to me that people are outraged by it, honestly. That these two young, very respectable golf players who are both, I mean, they're both in their 20s. You know, this is the new generation of golf. These are the faces of this whole sport and probably will be for the next, 20, 30 years. And they're, at this point in their careers, showing that sort of maturity. The guy's going in, they're about to get on the plane, he poses for a picture with the guy who won, who's friends with him. I mean, they have the same agent. They've probably, their paths have crossed several times. They've probably hung out together, probably played together, for fun. They're friends. It's not like Tom Brady and Peyton Manning because those are two teams. These are just two golfers playing each other.
But they're two guys that compete against each other almost on a weekly basis, depending on what tour they're playing on.
So what, they got to hate each other?
One of them beats the other one, and now they're just buddies. We're just going to hang out on a plane. I don't care that you beat me. I just blew up and shot an 80 in the final round. an 80 in the final round of the Masters to lose.
So be mad at yourself. Don't act like a jerk and not take pictures with the guy who won. That makes you look worse, doesn't it?
All right, I played a little bit of devil's advocate there. I got to totally agree with you, Chris.
Okay.
This is insane.
Ridiculous,
you're insane
right?
if you're sitting out there right now thinking that this Twitter picture is bad for golf or shows that these guys don't really care.
It's great for golf.
I agree. It shows the maturity. It shows that these guys have respect for each other, and that's what golf is all about. You go out, you play 18 holes with somebody, even if you got a little friendly wager or you're playing for nothing. At the end of the day, you're going to shake hands and go maybe have a beverage or have a lunch with this person.
Or board your private plane and do whatever you do.
Or if you're one of them, board your private plane and fly to Malaysia to play in another golf tournament to try to win another $1 million.
Right.
And I thought it was interesting, too, that a lot of people came out and had outrage with this. But I am totally in support of Rory and Charles on this one.
Good for them.
A great move on their behalf, on both of their behalves, to take that picture and put it up and say, you know what? Great job. You played well. You won the tournament. I lost it. Congratulations. Let's move on. And I think that's one of the things that indicates that Rory McIlroy will recover, and he will win a major very soon because he's playing really well. In his performance in the Maybank Malaysian Open, he took third there. He was one shot off the lead in the fourth round and hit the ball really well. From the reports, we watched a little bit of the replay this morning on Golf Channel, and he looked really good, looked really comfortable off the tee there. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, 17-year-old Matteo Manassero, who is Italian, took that tournament. And for me, it's just unbelievable that a 17-year-old has not won, but this is his second European Tour win. At 17 years old, I don't know what everybody else was doing, but I certainly was not winning golf tournaments for millions of dollars. This kid has a ton of talent. He absolutely stripes it off the tee, has an excellent short game, and more importantly, he's got a great mental approach to the game. He played in last year's British Open with Tom Watson, and Tom Watson said, this kid is going to be unbelievable. You watch his patience, you watch his poise, you watch his decision-making on the course. He is a guy that has a chance to be really good. Another European guy, not a chance. He has a very good opportunity to be very, very good for a long, long time. And at a young age and being European, it just begs the question, are these younger European guys taking over the game? And if you look at the world rankings right now, they are. And personally, I think it's great for the game. I'm an American. I would love to see Americans step up, and I would love to see Tiger and Phil continue to stay in the mix in the top 10. But I think it's great that the Europeans are getting more attention publicly and are performing well on the course to back that up.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it much better right there. It's become international. It's become a younger man's game, and it's cool to see this sort of transition period in such a long storied sport like golf. It's fun when when the tide kind of changes, and that's what's happening right now, and we're all kind of witnessing it.
Yeah,
it's cool.
And it's great for the game. Okay, let's get into the Valero Texas Open real quick. We got about 1 minute. Right now, Brandon Steele's leading the tournament, and a lot of people out there are saying, who is Brandon Steele? He's a guy that was on the Nationwide Tour, had a win. He's been kicking around the PGA Tour for a while now, 3 or 4 years, played a bunch of tournaments. Cameron Tringale, I want to make sure I get that right, is in second place. And he's really another guy that's been on the Nationwide and been around for a while, kicking around the PGA Tour and making some cuts. He finished T21 at the Northern Trust Open. So those two guys are down there in San Antonio at TPC San Antonio making a run for this title. However, although those guys are in the lead, I got to go with Brandt Snedeker as my pick just to get that in before we get off the air. He's tied 15 at the Masters. He understands how to flight the ball low. I think he's going to win that tournament and take that down. That coverage begins at 2 o'clock today on CBS if you want to watch the end of that tournament. And as we said, the Maybank Malaysian Open is already finished. All right, well, we got about 30 seconds here, Chris, before we finish up. Is that right? We got more time than that.
About 15 seconds.
15 seconds. So next week, we're going to get Brandon Smith back on, fitness professional. We'll review the Valero Texas Open. We'll talk a little heritage at Harbortown. Thanks for listening. Get out to Amherst Country Club. Half-price tee times. We'll see you next week on New England Golf Radio Show.
The snow has melted and the boys of spring are back, and that means it's time to get to Jillian's for Red Sox baseball. Jillian's is the best place for sports viewing in Manchester with over 20 TVs, including 12 65-inch flat screens. There are tons of things to do while the games are on at Jillian's with some of the best arcade games. Plus, Jillian's just won the Hippo Award for the best place to play pool in Manchester. Come in for great drink and food specials during the Red Sox as well. Jillian's is located at Exit 5 off 293 along the river in downtown Manchester. Jillian's, proud sponsors of Red Sox baseball on WGAM.
Stop by Educational and Custom Logo Outfitters at 14A Broad Street in Nashua. They are your one-stop shop for school uniforms and team apparel. Educational and Custom Logo Outfitters offers an easy and fun retail shopping experience, including on-site embroidery,